Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. This is a picture of my ex-husband, and this is a picture of me, and we will get into that in a while. Not right now. The unhappily married couple. And I have some leftover tea. We would fight so violently that, we had to divorce. Okay, but we got my son out of it, so hey, it's all's well that ends well. Okay, now, this is a really good video. Check it out. I put it on my Twitter. Food shortage is here, Pastor Dow. And I think this is a real pastor because his suggestion was just buy a couple of cans every time you go to the store. So I thought, yeah, and I have been doing that, and I have bought quite a bit of stuff. So today I bought 2 cans of tomato soup, and I could have bought cheaper tomato soup, but I thought, no, it's 98 cents. I made 2 things out of this, enchiladas and the stew. The stew was good, and I still have a little bowl of stew left. I just made enough for one meal. See, here's the leftover stew. This is a lot of stew. I might freeze it. I might eat it. If I don't eat it probably today, I'll probably freeze it. And then I saw this lady, and her entire cart was full of, well, it was Campbell's mushroom soup, but I find the Walmart mushroom soup to be good. 50 cents each, so what I want to make out of that is I will either make some beef barley soup, and or else I will make some beef stroganoff. That's what I'll make tonight on the cheap. And the way I do it is I mix up the mushroom soup, 1/2 mushroom soup, 1/2 water, and I add the bouillon cubes. And I went to Walmart, and now they give you the option, would you like the big size or would you like the big size? Well, I would like neither. I would like a smaller size. So for my beef stroganoff, I can use cream cheese. So I will make it just like my macaroni and cheese, but I will use cream cheese. And I will put some stuff in it. And then when I was at Walmart, I saw they had the Great Value ham. Yesterday there was very little lunch meat. And so we're going to get into why that might not be a good thing in a minute. I bought 2 packages of cooked ham. I bought 3 of these packages of turkey breasts. I was really looking for turkey. And then I bought some smoked ham, 8 ounces, for $2. So this and this were basically the same price. And what I do is I cut them in half. And so the reason no lunch meat is so important is because I met this guy, and he eluded starvation by a sandwich, a small fruit, or a small soda. So I go, oh, good, as long as we have our freezers packed full of lunch meat, we're not going to starve. Yeah, provided you can find it. And then I stockpiled 2 bags of gummy bears for $1 and 1 can of gumdrops. Okay, the gumdrops were really, really good in the brownies. You got to try that. Just drop the gumdrops into the brownies, and I am going to be making some gumdrop stuff. So let's see. So what I really wanted was turkey. So that's and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this lunch meat in foil and put it in a baggie, because I don't want anything happening to my lunch meat. So I have several months of lunch meat, and so I'm going to make a sandwich out of my lunch meat. And I wanted to tell you something else. Okay, I had it in mind to buy gallons of dish soap, and I couldn't find it in gallons. But what I found was at Dollar Tree, they have these 50 ounces. And so you need 64 ounces for a gallon. So I will stock up a bunch of these. I use this in cleaning, washing dishes, all kinds of things. You could wash your clothes in it. You could wash yourself in it. So anyway, I will stock up at least 6. Okay, so now I want to show you guys the lunch that I made my son. Now, I would eat a McDonald's hamburger. You know, I would actually leave the shop and go get a hamburger. But now that I'm home, okay, so this was in the freezer, so I eat down everything. So I need 1 1/2 sandwiches. And come to find out, that is the correct proportion. So when I used to make this all the time, I didn't know it. I was young. I didn't know. I just wanted to get my child enough food to get him home in one piece, you know, from school. And I would buy an Arby's crescent breakfast on the way to school because I was no good at breakfast making, and I wanted to make sure. And another thing I do is I stockpile margarine. So, you know, when I used to make this little lunch all the time, I never really thought about what a nutritionally sound lunch this was. So I don't need any margarine on my sandwich. I just need, on my turkey sandwich, I just need mayo. And I've been watching these things. Don't be eating mayo. No, a little bit is good because you're going to get a little bit of good fat. The trick is don't go crazy. So the idea is a meat and cheese sandwich for lunch, and then a 1/2 peanut butter sandwich. So you have your carb, you have your meat, you have your dairy, you have your nuts, and you have your fruit. So when I was doing this all of my life, I didn't know anything. I just knew, you know, I had to get my child in one piece. And I was single, and it was like, oh my gosh, you know, like Fred Sanford, Elizabeth, this is the big one. So I want a little mustard. Normally, you know, for a sack lunch, I would peel the apples. I don't like to eat apple peels. I think they are full of pesticide. So I was happy because I will be buying, I prefer Walmart, but if I don't find some in like pretty soon. So, okay, they only give you, how many pieces? They only give you 4. But if you cut them in half, and that's all you really need, you're going to have 8 or enough for a week. So these are not the cheapest lunch meat. They're 25 cents each, but they'll do the trick. And then I have some cheese that I bought from Walmart. Where's my cheese? Aldi's has pretty good cheese too. So you go to the store and there's no lunch meat, and you say to yourself, this ain't good. Okay, so instead of a fruit, I'm going to have a salad. These are partially frozen. My refrigerator is too cold. That's why my tea is frozen. Let's see if this one's edible. Yeah, I guess it's okay. I don't like these things in my sandwich. So what I do is when I'm buying tomatoes, I try to find the smallest tomatoes, like if it's in a package, the smallest one with the most tomatoes. So this will do in place of the small salad. You know, Submarina is good, or any of those sub sandwiches. I have to be careful. This pepper container is lousy. I'm not supposed to be eating salt. Okay, just a little. It's gonna kill me. Tastes better with salt, you guys. So now, to make my sandwich more like a party sandwich, I want to cut my sandwich in 4 tasty bite-sized pieces. Yummy. So if I can, I want to find some tasty bread, you know, marked down. So the margarine gives you a little extra fat on your sandwich. And when a lot of times I will put margarine on my bologna sandwiches, margarine, mayonnaise, and mustard. This is why it's so good if you do have to go to a food pantry and they give you peanut butter. That is awesome. That is cause for thanking the Lord. So this was to be eaten later on in the day to elude getting too hungry before coming home from school. Okay, this was my ex-husband. And my ex-husband was a lithographer, and he could print anything, including money. In fact, we had a friend who tried it, and he ended up in the penitentiary. So what happened was, my ex-husband broke his neck, which was bad enough. Then his father had a massive stroke, and he lifted his father out of bed every single day with a broken neck, and it took its toll and it killed him. Now over here, this is me with my child, my precious son, and I was determined to raise this guy if it killed me. And I did all kinds of extreme things, and, you know, things worked out. This was the least of it, you guys, but I made sure he had a decent lunch every single day. Even if you're home, the kids have to eat right, you know. Here's 2 good videos. Glenda Sully, Real Life on Social Security. A lot of people are on Social Security. Pop-Up Food Pantry at Queens, New York, and Poverty Princess Food Pantry, and that was a good one. And so what happened is they got a lot of nice food. So if you don't have that much money and you get yourself some decent food, you can get by maybe with spending very little of your own money. So this is why you want to pack your freezer full of bologna. So you know those starving children in China? Yes, they might be snacking on our bologna, since China owns a lot of our farmland. Okay, so we did the daily stockpile. We did the meat and cheese sandwich. It could be a salad or fruit, and for the drink I'm having tea, but it could be cheap Coke. I can't find the cans of 25 Coke, but they're out there. Okay, so now I was at the shopping center walking 2 long hours per day in the heat. I forced myself to do it, and I was telling my son, right now we're having this abnormally hot summer, but I am expecting an abnormally cold winter. And the reason is all the trees have burned. We're still going to get the massive amount of snow, and so it appears that the smoke blew from the north to the south, and you can expect the cold, water, and wind to run the same, which is probably going to cause trouble. So we have to be prepared for that. Also, I don't know why just exercising care for the rest of the year in concerns to the corona wouldn't be the smart thing to do. Today I was walking and I walked past a church. They were not wearing masks. They were singing loudly and there was no social distancing. The church is across the street from the hospital, and I think it shows utter disregards for the people working in healthcare. It just takes one sick person, and we'll get into that. So I'm walking, and I see this guy. He's kind of scruffy looking, and he kept walking in front of me, and they will do that sometimes when they want a handout. Like, here I am. So I was walking for 2 hours, and well into the second hour of the walking, he comes outside and he coughs and sneezes, and it's obvious he had been sick. He was sick, very sick. And then he walked a little behind me and did it again, so I crossed way over on the other side of the parking lot, and then he went back in the restaurant. Okay, restaurants are having a hard enough time, but if they don't insist you wear a mask. Okay, in a restaurant, they're saying, well, you're eating, so you don't have to wear a mask. That is incredibly dangerous. So I saw a policeman woman, and I said, listen, there's a very sick guy, and he's loitering around in this restaurant. She goes, well, there's really nothing I can do. Did you try to talk to security? Guess where she got her food? I wouldn't eat in that restaurant if you made me. If you took me in there and you gave me everything free on the menu, I wouldn't eat it because I know it's dangerous. Just like this enclosed church, and they have it blocked off so you can't see inside. I think these pastors are dangerous. Okay, the pastor that I directed to you to is a real pastor. Okay, but it's America. If you want to take a chance, and the thing is, everyone we know who has gotten it the whole family has gotten it, and the grandmother died, and they were doing everything they could. This was before people knew how bad it was, and the husband stayed in a motel. The wife still got it. The mother-in-law got it and died. Okay, so the sick guy loitered around in a restaurant, which is enclosed like the church, is nuts. And why would you do that when they have outdoor dining? Well, the problem is your food and the food handlers are inside. It's best to exercise care. Now, what we're saying, and this is just what we're saying, is it's going to be 2 years. So I'm going to be, my stuff is a disaster, because I am going to be purging stuff because I'm not going back to the swap meet for 2 years. Okay, so now I told you guys about transgender men that are not always transgenders, but they could be gay men who dress like a female, so they're unrecognizable. So I saw this guy, an obvious guy dressed up like a woman, and I thought, actually, it's pretty successful. He looks pretty good. Obviously a man, but... and he went into the restaurant we were talking about. Yes. And so I didn't think anything about it. But like you could spot him a mile off. And I thought, wow, that's odd. Well, when he came I came back around, he was sitting at a table with an older gentleman, and I worked in areas before, and when you see a lot of this, I told you I saw a lot of young, effeminate men. These are areas where the prostitutes can get work, and it doesn't necessarily mean, it could just be a gay man, and so, this goes on every single day of our lives, and, who's to judge? I mean, is it worse than the men that I see that don't even have enough sense to collect cans? I mean, it's both bad, right? But that's the way it really, really is. So we're going to be seeing acts of desperation. I told you I saw some guy doing some unspeakable acts in the bushes. And then another thing is, don't think Americans are weak. This guy lifted his father out of bed 15 years. It took its toll. It killed him with a broken neck, and it killed his girlfriend, providing care for his mother and father, and he helped me with my son. Okay, at these pictures is at my dad's. My dad is 6 feet under as well. And a lot of times in the pictures, you would see my dad sitting around. So, you know, there's a lot of us. Yeah, times are tough, but don't you worry, we're going to get through this somehow. Like the guy today, you know, the guy dressed up, it was actually kind of a good look, and the crack up was the wig reminded me of the wig that I bought, and I was thinking maybe I'm going to copy his hairstyle. You know, I have another hairstyle that I want to do, which is the woman who is on the Crime Stopper show. And then after that, maybe I will do a version of his hairstyle, because it was like a red wig, the same as mine. And I thought that's actually a pretty good look. But, you know, we're going to do what we have to do to get by. We don't need people telling us, wow, you know, the way you're living is awful and you're going to hell. What needs to be done is everyone needs to do what they need to do to get by, just like we did. His VA paid for his college in San Diego. Okay, you guys, please like, comment, and subscribe, and watch out yourselves. Just say, okay, what harm can it do if I'm careful the rest of the year? Please like, comment, and this is not to put anyone down. I got better stuff to do than that. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and God bless you all.